My uncontrollable movements, called TD, tardive dyskinesia, felt embarrassing. I felt like disconnecting. I asked my doctor about treating my TD and learned about Ingreza, a prescription medicine clinically proven for reducing TD in adults. That's always one capsule, once daily, and #1 prescribed. People taking Ingreza can stay on most mental health meds.
Ingreza can cause depression, suicidal thoughts, or actions in patients with Huntington's disease. Call your doctor if you become depressed, have sudden behavior or mood changes, or suicidal thoughts. Don't take Ingreza if allergic. Serious side effects may include allergic reactions like sudden, potentially fatal swelling and hives, sleepiness, the most common side effect, and heart rhythm problems. Know how Ingreza affects you before operating a car or dangerous machinery. Report fever, stiff muscles, or problems thinking, as these might be life-threatening. Shaking, stiffness, drooling, and trouble with moving or balance may occur.
Take control by asking your doctor about Ingreza.
Learn more at Ingreza.com. That's INGREZZA.com.
Now's the time for a great deal on a new Honda. It's time to take an adventure with rugged capability and commanding style. Check out the Honda Ridgeline, Pilot, Passport, or CRV. For a limited time, well-qualified buyers can get a 1.99% APR on a 2025 Ridgeline or a 3.99% APR on a 2025 Pilot, 2026 Passport, or 2025 CRV.
See dealer for financing details. Yes, need your bitch drug, your bitch drug. No, that is a Lady Gaga song, all right? It's Welcome to Who's the Bitch, guys, all right? Sometimes I just get a song stuck in my head. I've had Love Drug stuck in my head since Mayhem dropped. It's just, it really gets in there. Welcome to Who's the Bitch. My name is Jackie Zabrowski.
And Abracadabra, that's the only song I know. I'm your host, Kara Kling.
That is okay. You know, I think that I just got really, sometimes, you know, this beautiful, beautiful ADHD brain of mine, it really leans into an album and it kind of becomes my personality for a bit.
I have ADHD as well, and like when I would listen to a song growing up, it would just be I could listen to the same album or song over and over until I practically burned a fucking hole in it.
Like, until I can't stand it any longer. And then like I need to take a break, and I've already gone through my break and I'm back into like the news cycle of getting back into it.
It's to the point where you listen to it so many times that you then associate with like a certain time of your life.
Yes.
Like I listened to like this one Counting Crows album so much when I was like fighting with my friends my sophomore year of college.
Oh God.
That I swear to God, if I hear like a song from it, I'm like, okay, better have a heart-to-heart with somebody and with a cigarette on my dorm room bed right now. Like
I got to get through this. I got to work through some shit. Yeah, there's just something about it. I think, I don't know why I'm being trapped in this, you know, portion of time. I think this is something I'm going to probably process in the future. But as of right now, I'm just leaning into like, I really want to be, you know, we were talking about last episode, it's a bit of a vibey music summer. But I just, somewhere in me, I need to dance, Kara.
I just got to dance.
Baby, get me out there.
And I better see you guys all dance in your little ways right into our live stream, which is tomorrow. The Summer Bitchathon is tomorrow. If you're listening to this episode the day it comes out, which is June 25th, we will see you tomorrow live from 4 to 7 Pacific, 7 to 10 Eastern. That's on
YouTube.com/@who'sthebee. Come and find us. And you know you need your bitch drug.
Yeah, and even if you can't make that, even if you can't make our bitchathon, just give us a little subscribe on the YouTubes, would you? We're just two millennials trying to fucking figure out YouTube very late in the game.
Yeah,
so just
don't worry about it.
Help us out and just subscribe. And then if you want to call in, we're everything as always. Every piece of information you need for this podcast is at who'sthebitch.com. So ways to call in, ways to, and there will be, by the way, I don't think we mentioned this last time, but there will be like chat on YouTube.
Oh yeah.
Like you'll be able to chat along. It's going to be a lot like the Twitch streams. So join us over there. And that's just some general housekeeping I wanted to address. But then there was something I wanted to ask you about. I just heard about this. Have you heard the phrase caspering?
Is it a Gen Z?
I don't know. I don't know if it's Gen Z, but a friend of mine just sent it to me, and it's called caspering.
So it's like ghosting, I'm assuming.
It's like ghosting, but you know how Casper was the friendly ghost?
Oh.
It's a more friendly form of ghosting.
Okay.
And what's funny, because my friend sent it to me in the context of friendship, because we both have friendships that we feel like have sort of not with each other, with separate friends
atrophied.
that have sort of just like slipped away in a way where it's like, but you don't really know what happens. And we get a ton of submissions from you guys saying you have similar stuff like that. This was your best friend in college, your best friend in high school, your best friend in later in life, your best mom friend, whatever. You've had this friend who's like a great friend, and then somehow just a divide happened, and it wasn't like a huge fallout, or it wasn't like anything major. And the way that they're framing it in a lot of these articles about caspering is it's romantic, but I think it also works for
with
friendship.
Very much so, especially because this is so interesting that it's communication versus silence, where ghosting, you go silent. This, I feel like we all completely understand. It's the friend that like, oh, you're really close, you're talking about really intense things, you're actually like confessing things to each other, and then all of a sudden you're just like sending each other memes.
Yes.
And then you're just like random, like you're hitting each other up, but you're not really saying anything anymore. And it's kind of just, but I also feel like there are ebbs and flows in a friendship that you don't have in a relationship sometimes. Like obviously a long-term relationship you do, but I feel like with a friendship, it's different that like you see it almost as a forever open-ended thing, as opposed to that I feel like sometimes when you get into a relationship that it's like, well, this could be finite.
Yeah.
I feel like a friendship gives more of an opportunity of like, oh, this could be forever, because it's not necessarily attached to your relationship needs.
Right.
You know what I mean?
It doesn't have to follow any kind of timeline of like a marriage or babies or anything that you
back to me in 3 days, so I'm not going to go on another date with them. Like,
moving in together. It's just different. But let me just really quickly read. I just realized you and I jumped into it because we both have an article about it in front of us. Let me just jump into the full definition of it. So caspering, it says on, Google's AI function, is a form of ending a relationship that is considered a friendlier or more polite version of ghosting. Instead of completely disappearing, the person may respond to messages with vague or friendly replies, hinting at continued interest without any intention of following through. So that's what I think is interesting, because a lot of people are like, a lot of you write to us and are like, oh my gosh, this is my friend and I'm sad because we were so close and it's just kind of gone away. And now it's like she'll randomly invite me to a party, or she'll randomly send me a Christmas card or this or that. And sometimes I do think it's like people don't want to make the final decision of like, I'm ending a friendship, but they also sometimes aren't willing to actually put in the effort of what the other person needs. There's some people. My husband will be like, oh, I haven't talked to that guy in 4 years, but if they were to run into each other and get a beer, they'd be like, nothing ever happened. Great. I am like, if I'm super good friends with you and then you just start caspering, I'm not down with it. I expect a certain amount.
Really?
I have expectations.
Okay.
If I'm giving that.
Yes.
If I'm giving that back. Oh, there's definitely people I have dinner with twice a year.
That's what I'm saying. Because I feel like it takes all friendships. Everyone, I think you have certain friends for certain things. Like the person that I still consider, hands down, my BFF, I think we talk on the phone once every 4 months. But then we talk on the phone for like 4 hours and we're just like, and then we'll in between. Yes. But like, I don't see that as caspering, because in between, we don't really text much.
And is that like a distance person? Is that a person who lives far away? Yeah.
Correct.
So like the distance is like a little bit different too. Like the person, like for my specific situation, it's like someone that I was spending a ton of time with in Los Angeles, such good friends. And then now it's just been like months and nothing. And I'm just like, I can't really get with that.
But it is kind of scary though in the term of friendship to end it. Like so specifically, I do have a friend currently that we all know her work schedule, I will say. I'm not saying someone that works here. Yeah. Like we know like about-ish when she's busy, about-ish what she's available to do, and everything now last minute always cancels. Even if they're hosting, like if she's hosting something, last minute cancel. And it is like a flip-floppery that you get to a point of like, when do you say, I guess we're not friends anymore? Like what is the point? Like, is it the third double date that you cancel right before? Like, is that when you're like, are you trying to say you don't want to be friends anymore because I guess that's okay.
Yeah.
And I guess I'll just stop because I feel like I'm going to get it tattooed on my breasts of you got to be a friend to have a friend.
Right.
It's difficult to maintain friendships. It is work.
It'll match our communication on our forehead tattoos. That
My God, we're going to look. I think people are going to be scared of us.
Let's get the lip one too. That's like, that says boundaries.
Oh my God.
Inside our
Natalie
lips.
has an inside the lip tattoo, and I'm not speaking out of turn. It's just fuck it on it.
Oh
yeah,
my
she got
God.
one of those when she was really young, and every time I look at it, I'm like, yes, that's great.
That's so funny. Well, listen, we got to get into that episode.
I know,
but,
yes.
But I think that's really interesting. I am a big communicator, so I have said to this friend 3 times, "Do you still want to be friends?" Like, because
what
it
did
feels
they say?
like, and they're like, "Yes, of course. Oh my God, so important to me." And then the behavior doesn't change. So it's like, I get it. So I get it, and it's like this is a lot for just like a tiny intro to a podcast. Like I could go on talking about this forever, and we got to go. But it's interesting. To me, this is a more interesting thing to talk about even in terms of a friendship, because in terms of a relationship, it's like, I guess if you've gone on a few dates with someone, it is kind of nicer to go. I think it's nice to just go, I wish you well, but I don't really see this going anywhere. Like I hate ghosting. I think ghosting. I've probably ghosted, but I hate it. I tried when I was online dating to be like, hey, I had a great time with you, and I know I did make out with you, and so it's probably a mixed signal, but I was wasted, and I'm sorry. Like I don't think that I see this going any further. I just think even if you're scared of them saying something mean back, which they will because men are idiots if it's a male relationship, if it's heteronormative, but I do think it's just better to say nowadays just like, hey, I think I'm moving in a different direction, whatever, than to just ghost. But caspering, I can't tell if it's like leading on.
That would caspering like in a romantic way would drive me crazy. For me, you're either all in or you're not.
Yeah.
Like, I can't handle. That's why.
To me, it feels like someone's keeping you in their back pocket in case they are drunk one night and they want to still be able to like booty call you or whatever. Right. They're like, oh, well, we just texted a few days ago. It's like, but you sent me a fucking meme, you know? Like, so I don't know if I'm down with caspering, but Forbes has an article about the a psychologist explains why caspering is a better alternative to ghosting.
Whoa. See, I feel like for a summer flang, give me a Casper. Love it. I want to barely talk about nothing and then just do the you up on a, Saturday because I'm drunk on a boat. But
yeah, see, this is talking about death with dignity. But you know what I'll say also? I'm not belittling this therapist, but he is a man. And I think some men would rather be let down easy like that with like a taper than like... My sister had a full relationship with a guy that they were dating for a while, and they just she just sort of tapered it off. Yeah, this was years and years ago, but like, hopefully she wouldn't mind me saying, but like, it wasn't even like anybody ever said,
but there's nothing bad about that. There's nothing bad about that.
It was just, and so I think that it's funny because I think it would drive a woman to unfortunately speak in gender norms, it would drive us crazy as women. Like it would drive me insane. I'd be like, what is this? Why are you still writing me randomly?
You must choose.
Yeah. So like it would, but I think a man is like, oh, I kind of like that. They just sort of hold your hand until you forget about it.
Yeah.
Like that's like so male. Anyway, do we want to do some unsolicited advice or should we just jump into solicited?
Let's jump right in.
All right, let's get into solicited advice. Okay, we're starting off with a wild one, and Jackie, read it.
You've got...
Am I the asshole for lying about why the father of my child is suddenly absent from our lives? I'm 33, female with a 4-year-old daughter. Everyone in my life, with the exception of my parents and literally 2 very close friends, think that the father of my 4-year-old suddenly decided to leave us and terminate his parental rights. This is a story I came up with, kind of on the fly, to hide my shame about the truth, which is, in November 2024, I found out my fiancé and father of my 4-year-old was charged with and going to trial for inappropriate contact with a minor. I don't know if I can state the actual charges, just know I'm not trying to downplay them or glossing over them. They are very serious charges. Long story short, when he finally told me it had been ongoing for 2 years, I was blindsided completely. I had no idea what to do. From the documents, police reports, etc. that he shared with me, his case looked simple. 1 girl, 1 story, nothing else to back up any of it. He was sure it wouldn't go to trial. Spoiler, it did. A few weeks ago, his trial happened and he was found guilty on 4 counts. I learned a lot of information at the trial that he had not shared with me. So, to anyone at work or outside my parents, I seem to have a massive life change out of nowhere. Rather than explain all of the above and have the shame of being with someone who could do those things, having a child with and loving that person and being fooled for years, I came up with a quick story on the fly that would explain my stress and sadness, but not invite questions. His sentencing was weeks ago, and without revealing too many specifics, he will never leave prison.
Oh my God.
I'm struggling with the guilt of lying to so many people I care about. I'm also struggling with my 4-year-old wanting her daddy, not understanding why he's suddenly gone among the dozen or so other fucked up things that come with something like this. Am I the asshole for lying from the beginning? Would I be more or less of an asshole if I came clean to everyone? Am I overthinking it all? Specifically, I hate that my older sister doesn't know the truth. It's like being eaten alive from the inside. Oh my God.
Oh my
I just
God.
want to hug you.
So,
I just want to hug you.
I'm sorry.
So sorry.
I'm sorry. It feels like we
Oh my
dove.
God, horrific.
We dove right from like caspering to like this really serious email. And that's my fault. I should have had like a little bit more of a tonal warning here. I just like... Yeah, I just want you to know that like you're not the bitch for anything.
This is none of
you
this
are doing
your
anything
fault.
you can to protect your peace and like the life of your child. I think never telling anyone is absolutely completely your prerogative. I do think you could probably tell your older sister if it's eating you alive like that, like keep it just in your family. You know what I mean?
Because also, I'm going to say don't let his choices ruin your life, but I understand that this is what is currently happening and how could you not? And because you shouldn't be in charge of anyone else and what they do and how they live their lives.
Right.
Because unfortunately, even though this should not reflect you and your choices because you had absolutely no idea, I understand how
society works.
Society doesn't feel that way. And I can't imagine, being able to share that. And also, you're worried that your daughter, I imagine, also would be treated differently.
Yeah, totally.
And that it would be an issue. My only concern would be the fact that I understand that you listened through the trial and you understand and found out more of what happened. My only thing would be talking to people in your family that you felt comfortable with, just in case he was around other minors.
Yeah.
That would be my only concern if I felt that way. If I obviously you were blindsided, and not saying that because you had any control over anything that happened, but just to alert. Because,
it must have been something super serious for him to end up in prison for the rest of his life. So I'm going to say
yes. Well, it has to do with minors.
Yeah.
So it like that's my own. That
but you would be surprised on my SVU podcast. Like sometimes we are shocked at how small the sentences are.
Yes.
For
of course.
Like it's like 7 years for like doing something horrific.
Jared Fogle from Subway. Yeah. That he literally received 7 years. So it's that
the Stanford,
kind of thing.
the kid at Stanford who just like raped a girl and then got like 6 months or something.
It's truly
horrible.
It's all horrific, and I'm so sorry.
Yeah, I'm so sorry you're going through
this.
But
with
honestly,
your daughter, and I'm so sorry.
Think of it this way too: you're not even telling a lie. You're not. He did leave you.
Yes,
and he did. I mean, maybe like I don't know about terminating parental rights. I don't know if they're just automatically terminated when you go into the system, but like into the prison system. But he did leave you guys. He suddenly left. I think if you want to change the language so that you don't say he suddenly decided to leave, you just say, yeah, he just left and he's not going to be in our lives anymore. And it's been a lot to go through. And then hopefully people don't ask you any fucking questions and you can open up to whoever the fuck you want to open up to.
To whoever you want to. And that it's also, and you can also wait till you get to a place you're not lying to them.
Yeah.
He left. He's gone. And that doesn't change what you are going through.
Yeah, and I hope that you're getting like help because this is something absolutely huge. And your daughter too, just to make sure that if everything, I'm sure you're making sure she's okay. And like, but kids are very resilient.
Yes.
Like I know she's going to be asking you, where's my dad and stuff. Like just making sure she's happy in the rest of her life and try to answer things as best she can. But I mean, I know how you feel. This feels like kind of like a death, like,
Of course.
And also, yeah, just, you don't need to feel, that's such a like, I hate to, I'm always bringing shit back to like feminism and misogyny, but like that's such a female thing to feel like you owe other people the truth, or you owe other people like to not be saying something to them that's not 100% like all the details. No, you don't owe anybody shit.
No.
Say whatever you need for you and your daughter to have your peace. And I hope you guys are able to rebuild and get past this all. And like I hope you're seeing somebody for help, because just for processing that you trusted and loved this person who committed this crime. And yeah, terrible. But like, yeah, I said, if it's really killing you that your older sister doesn't know, I would say family members.
Yeah. And whoever.
Since your parents know, it feels like you could tell family members.
But please talk to a therapist.
Yeah.
You like also think it's not even, think about self-care of what you are raising your daughter now, and you need to be the best version of you. So anything that you need to do to take care of you and your mental health so that you can take care of your daughter, you need to do right now.
Yeah. And I would just like figure out a way to say what the truth is. If basically what you're saying is this is eating me up because you don't like, maybe you hate lying. Figure out a way to word this so that you are not lying at all. Like, he's gone, he left us, we're upset, or whatever. Maybe you're not upset. Don't say that. Like, say whatever the sentence is, and then that's your fucking sentence. And it's going to be, and it's something that people are just not going to ask questions about. Like, oh, do you know where he is? Not quite sure, actually, because maybe you haven't checked where he got sentenced to. You know what I mean? Like, it's really just nobody's fucking business.
It's nobody's business.
And if you can change the subject, change the goddamn subject. Oh, I think my daughter's calling me. Is that somebody yelling for me to get them goldfish? Gotta go.
Yep.
Like, fuck that. You don't owe anybody anything.
But thank you for writing into us.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Good luck with everything.
Yeah. Keep us posted. Jeez,
please.
Fucking Louise. That's a tough one.
Now's the time for a great deal on a new Honda. It's time to take an adventure with rugged capability and commanding style. Check out the Honda Ridgeline, Pilot, Passport, or CRV. For a limited time, well-qualified buyers can get a 1.99% APR on a 2025 Ridgeline, or a 3.99% APR on a 2025 Pilot, 2026 Passport, or 2025 CRV.
See dealer for financing details.
Brace the rudders! Raise the sails! Raise the sails!
Captain, an unidentified ship is approaching. Over.
Roger. Wait, is that an enterprise sales solution?
Reach sales professionals, not professional sailors. With LinkedIn ads, you can target the right people by industry, job title, and more. We'll even give you a $100 credit on your next campaign. Get started today at linkedin.com/results. Terms and conditions apply.
All right, let's listen to this voicemail. This is an update and a new message.
Okay.
A new issue. So we got a call very long ago. I forget what episode it even was, but the early episodes, about this woman who was like, I don't really like going to see my family, my husband's family, because his mom is such a bitch to me. It's another mother-in-law bitch story.
Yes.
But she's like, the caller's mom had died, and this woman was basically just like, I'm not going to call you my daughter. It was like being really mean. I don't know if you remember this one.
Now I remember.
So, and we had said, you don't need to go to the holidays when you don't want to. That was our advice. Boundaries.
Thank you for calling Who's the Bitch. Tell us in the voicemail who's the bitch. Beep.
Hi, Kara and Jackie. I called and you guys played my voicemail back in the fall / holiday time, Thanksgiving, Christmas, and I wanted to call with an update. I called because I have some significant mother-in-law issues, and it was about going and visiting during the holidays, or annually going across the country to spend time in a situation that is not comfortable. It doesn't feel psychologically pretty comfortable. And so you said, hey, set those boundaries. Going once a year is more than enough. Going less than once a year is reasonable. My mother-in-law is the one who told me she won't call me her daughter right after my mom died, and then I'm too poor to live, basically. So I did follow your lovely advice of not being the bitch, and basically said, I'm not going to visit, until we get there for next Christmas, which would be Christmas 2025. But don't worry, someone called my bluff, and for the first time in the 5-6 years we've lived out in California, someone came and visited us, and it was my entire in-law family, including my mother-in-law. And we invited them, of course, because that's what family does. And by God, she decided to get her ass on a plane for the first time in 7 years and fly out. And it was, everyone else was great. She was a disaster. She was a disaster. She complained the whole time. It was, we had the fires in January in LA, as we all know. And it was around that time. And I was like, you know what? It's probably not a great time to come. If you guys are worried, maybe don't fly into an active natural disaster. But don't worry, they did. And she complained the whole time. She complained that the power was going out.
Yeah, of course.
That she might have to wear a mask. She complained that we went to Disneyland without her, even though she didn't want to go, with our nephew. And it was par for the course, but it happened. And I still was able to go home at the end of each day and protect my lovely boundaries. So I call it a win for those reasons. And, there were good boundaries. So I just wanted to say thank you very much for that. I do have a new bitchuation, and it is also family centered because I only bring the heavy shit to Who's the Bitch. And it's that I am a caregiver for my father with my husband. We've been taking care of him for about 5.5 years post-stroke. And now we have to figure out who's the bitch. Me, for saying maybe I'm owed some more money for all of this caregiving when everything is said and done and we split up my parents' assets, which are few. Or do we continue to split things evenly between me, my brother, and my sister, even though they are not physically present with my father? We take care of him. We live with him. My brother's still a couple hours away, but my sister is moved out of the country. And so she sees him a couple times a year. And recent conversations have been having to, we've had to have conversations about this because things are getting expensive. His care is getting expensive because he's getting worse. And he's physically and verbally abusive to me. So I think I'm owed more, but the agreement that happened before my mom passed away with my dad was that the three of us split things evenly. So I would love to know who's the bitch. Me for thinking I probably am owed more, although I can't say how much, or the idea that we all split things evenly, which is kind of what my sister's going for. And I understand her point too. I made a decision to come help out my dad, but I didn't think it would be 5.5 years.
Yeah.
Love you both. Jackie, losing a parent is so rough. I lost my mom and it's rough, and I just wish the best for you. And, grief doesn't end, it changes, and you'll change too. And you'll change for the better. Love you both. Bye.
And then she bursts into tears. I appreciate you. Thank you for saying that. Thank you so much for saying that.
Yeah. Okay.
A renegotiation is in order. I'm going to say this right up top. I know that you had the conversation with the siblings, and I'm saying this as someone who just went through this. The people that are taking care of the infirm need more money. The people that are not there need to give whatever they can give. As the two people that were across the country from my family, Henry and I were able to give what we could to make sure that they were taken care of. And obviously, this was something that we as a family were, knew it was going to be coming and something that we had planned for. But also, I feel like that's when a renegotiation needs to happen.
Absolutely.
Because you don't want this to get in between you and your siblings. You don't.
And I'm sorry, at the very end, you go, and I see my sister's point too.
You're being very nice. I love you, girl. You're being too nice.
Being too nice.
You're up this bitch.
Your sister said it was your choice to go take care of your dad. And also, she's fucking lucky that you did, because if not,
who's going to do it?
If not, you'd all be splitting an aftercare, an advanced care facility.
A care facility.
Yeah.
And you know how expensive those are?
I just said aftercare because I have children, by the way. That's what we call it. But
do you know how expensive those are? And do you know how you need someone that is around to make sure that it's okay? How much you are helping them.
You are helping them massively. And I live across the country from my parents, and they're not infirm yet. But my brothers and sisters that live out there, I'm always like, what can I do? Can I send money? Like if we're like, oh, we're gonna go over and do something for mom, like for anything. Like I'm like, oh, or dad. I'm like, let me send money. You know, like I'm trying to help from afar, but I'm also like, yeah, if one of them took in my parents physically, were living with them, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
I'd be like, well, I'm not getting anything.
No.
Like, that's such a huge undertaking
it's
that
so
you have.
Much.
I don't know. I think maybe what would help is to present this in numbers and not just feelings, and just like kind of add up some of your expenses and just say like, look, this is like approximately what we're spending on groceries and approximately what we are like when we have to be there for, if we have to be there for occupational therapy or whatever, we miss an hour of work, this is what we get paid at work. You know, like try to like run the numbers very generally and just go like, look, I'm not asking for you guys to pay me, but I do think that when it comes to like at the end, like, this is hard stuff to talk about, but Jesus Christ,
it has to be
5.5 years.
It's a long time.
This is hugely,
it's a huge weight on your life. It's impacting
your life and your freedom.
Yes, it is.
You can't just hop on a plane and go to Vegas whenever you fucking want. You've got your dad to look after, and that's a responsibility that your siblings should be sharing with you.
Yes, but what do you do if you go to them and you have everything written down and they just don't have the money? Then what? I guess
that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not saying she should ask them for money. I'm saying she should say, this is essentially what it's costing me. And therefore, I think that when things are divvied up, like their assets are divvied up at the end, it seems to me that the percentages make more sense to be like 50, 25, 25.
Right.
Or something like that. What do you guys think?
But I think it should be discussed now.
And if they say no, then you're like, well, then I'm going to need some financial participation now.
That's right.
That's just, I honestly, if anyone's listening that's like a family lawyer, I feel like you could go to court and get this. I don't know, you don't want to
take it to that extent.
I know you don't want to, but it's like, I don't understand your sister's point of view at all.
No.
You chose to be the one to help, and therefore you don't have to have any you absolve all financial responsibility for it. That's crazy.
This is a huge reason, like, because of issues like this is why we don't speak to any of the uncles. We don't speak to any of our aunts. It ruined our family. I'm speaking as someone with experience. That before we went through everything we just have been going through with my family, we all had multiple discussions of like, we can't let how difficult this is rip us apart or come in between us. So we are all going to talk through. And it was a lot of talking. It was a lot of us on the phone or jumping on, or as a family, all jumping on Zoom throughout the country so that we can discuss things. And it was something that I didn't want it to be on my mother only. I was like, it's not just on you. This is the whole family.
And maybe so I want to give your brother and sister the benefit of the doubt. Maybe because they're far away, they don't know how much you do.
Right?
Let them know.
Let them know
how much you're doing. Like,
but listen, don't wait till you get to a point where you're like, you need to like. And don't, it doesn't sound like you're there yet.
Yeah, or where you're speaking out of grief and you're speaking out of like, they think you're saying that you are somehow a more valued daughter or something. That's not what you're saying. This is a huge thing you've taken on, and I do think that you deserve more.
Yes.
In the end.
Yes.
I do. Like, just to literally compensate you, like make you whole again for a 5 to who knows, 10, 15 year period where you're essentially a caregiver.
Yes, and you are. Yes, and also the trauma that you're going through of the many years of where your home is not a safe space, because like you said, the way that you're being treated through this as well, that, think of also not just financially, think of what you're going through. Be kind and give yourself grace of what you are going through every single day.
Plus you have this bitch ass mother-in-law.
Yeah.
Fuck that.
It's just on, and you're also dealing with that. Yes, it's like, can we please? I already have to deal with my own family. I can't deal with you. And then she comes during the fires.
And goes, "What's with the power outages?"
Oh my God! While
people are like losing their homes, get a grip.
I am so sorry that is so much stress to be under, and just remind yourself that every day you're under that added weight. And just remember that like you're not coming from, even the thing with your mother-in-law, you're not even coming to that at a, like you're coming to every situation from a deficit because of what you're having to deal with in your house.
And it's a beautiful thing you're doing for your dad.
It really is.
I mean,
it really is. I feel that angels walk among this earth.
I can't say I could do it.
I don't know if I could do it. I don't know if I can. And you are very, very strong. The fact that you've been doing this long, the fact that you're not at the end of your rope after 5.5 years of splitting it evenly, you're doing a great job. You're doing good.
Yeah. Let us
talk to them.
Let us know what they say.
Please.
But you're not the bitch for even thinking. You're not the bitch for thinking about it, and you're not the bitch for acting on it.
Nope.
Lights, camera, innovation. Walt Disney Studios chose advanced 5G solutions from T-Mobile for Business to transform the movie-making process. Together, we kept a remote production hub in Hawaii in sync with a team in California to bring Lilo and Stitch to theaters this summer. This is picture-perfect collaboration. This is Walt Disney Studios with T-Mobile for Business. Take your business further at T-Mobile.com/now.
Does it ever feel like you're a marketing professional just speaking into the void? Well, with LinkedIn ads, you can know you're reaching the right decision makers. You can even target buyers by job title, industry, company, seniority, skills. Wait, did I say job title yet? Get started today and see how you can avoid the void and reach the right buyers with LinkedIn ads. We'll even give you a $100 credit on your next campaign. Get started at linkedin.com/results. Terms and conditions apply.
Okay. This is a genre of submission that we love here on WTB.
Okay.
It is, well, I'll tell you. You know what it is.
You got
Hi, Karen Jackie. Longtime Last Pod on the Left listener, new Who's the Bitch listener, and I am hooked.
Hell yes.
Love you both and really appreciate all the thoughtful advice. I am catching up on all your episodes and recently listened to, quote unquote, I'm Blaming the Boomers, that episode, in which you discussed secret siblings. Secret siblings. That's the genre.
We always that's
the genre. Secret family
whispering
members.
Secret siblings.
Yeah, that's the genre I'm talking about. This reminded me of my own bitchuation. When I was around 7 years old, wow, I can't believe you remember this so clearly, something that you heard when you were 7. When I was around 7 years old, my mom let it slip in the most super casual boomer way while she was cooking dinner that my cousins, whom I'm close to, have a secret half sibling that they still don't know about today.
I love it when they just slyly drop this fucking lore and you're like, what are you talking about?
I distinctly remember her going bug-eyed, covering her mouth with her hand and saying, oh shit. At the time, she told me to never to say anything to my cousins because it would ruin the family. Classic boomer guilt trip. Like, sorry you accidentally shared this information with me?
Yeah.
I had forgotten about this conversation from my childhood until a few years ago. I love an unearthed memory, by the way.
God.
This is me, Kara, talking.
Yes.
And thought maybe it was a fever dream, like me roller skating. I wasn't sure it actually happened. That's me, Kara, again. All right, sorry, I keep editorializing.
I love this.
So I asked my mom to confirm whether it was true, and she said yes. She shared that my cousin's dad, that's so true too. Like, by the way, I'm stopping Kara again here. When your parents just tell you something when you're really little, and then you're like, is that fucking real? And then you just bring it up later. You're like, is that?
Yeah.
Like, because like my dad is the child of an affair. And I remember kind of maybe knowing that when I was really little and then like not knowing it again until I was in my 30s.
And then you remembered.
And then being like, is that it? And my mom was like, yeah, that's the story. And I'm like, okay. Fuck. Like, we never talk about that.
Did the parents get divorced? Like, did anything happen? Or was it just, he was just known as
just a side child that he died. My great grandfather like died when my dad was quite young. so he didn't really have much of a relationship with him.
Okay.
But the little relationship he did was sly park hangs to meet up with you.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's a little me airing the family laundry here on my podcast. I used to be so scared to talk about personal family shit, and now I'm just like out here.
Well, that's just,
out here.
It's fine.
On networks, on a national podcast.
Guys, we're all, right? It's between us.
Yeah,
it's
you guys
fine.
won't say anything, right?
It's fine.
I just do it because my parents don't know what podcasts are. Okay. So I had forgotten about this conversation, thought it was a fever dream, asked my mom to confirm. She said it was true. She shared that my cousin's dad, let's call him Charles, because again, this is a person doing letters and I need to name the people. She shared that my cousin's dad, Charles, and their mom, Maria Sophia, she's my mom's sister, have been together for 40 plus years. Before they got married, they broke up briefly, but Charles knocked up Maria Sophia's friend during that time. That woman had a baby boy. Charles and Maria Sophia. I love how I just randomly gave it the most
Maria
weird
Sophia,
name.
Yeah.
Because I know that's not the person's name.
You got it.
If it is, I am so sorry. Charles and Maria Sophia got back together with the stipulation from Maria Sophia that that friend he knocked up and their baby boy would never be spoken of again.
Whoa. Oh, good. Man, that's how you process something, huh? Now, back in the day, baby, when you just go sweep it under the rug.
Lock this up.
Never deal with it again.
That key.
Wow.
And then they got married, had 2 daughters, my cousins, who are now in their 30s, and they still don't know about their half-brother. So I think there are likely multiple bitches in this situation. 1, Maria Sophia for not wanting to inform her children of their half-brother because of her own hurt over her husband's relationship with her friend. 2, Charles for agreeing to withhold from the kids that's information. 3, my mom for sharing the secret with me as a child. What the fuck?
Yes.
And the biggest bitch of them all. Or 4, me for not telling my cousins. My cousins are extremely close to their dad. I don't want to ruin their relationship by sharing this information with my cousins. I also don't want to ruin my mom's relationship with her sister and brother-in-law because my mom is close with her sister. I also don't want my cousins to hate me for withholding this information from them for almost 25 years, depriving them of the opportunity to establish a relationship with their half-brother. So all of this to say, should I continue to harbor this secret? Love you both, D. Oh, D, this is so fucking tough.
This is
a real fucking toughie.
Yeah, because I guess my first question is, are there any, I know that you are close with your sibling or your cousins and that your cousins are they're extremely close to their dad. Is there anyone of the cousins, I guess, my only question, I say this because I don't have cousins and I'm learning the world of cousins through my husband.
It's so funny people have certain cousins that they're so close with.
I love cousins are, it's such a, I love getting to know all of Jeff's cousins because it's like a fun sibling, but not your sibling. Is there another cousin that you can go to and be like,
what should we do about this? But then you're spreading the rumor even further
because I feel like it's not
a rumor, it's information.
It's real.
Sorry.
The facts.
Yeah.
If I'm saying this is a person that has a secret half sister. I didn't want to get to know her, but I also didn't because of the way in which she got a hold of us. So that is more the issue that I wonder if it's the kind of thing that do you want? I feel like I would be upset with someone holding this information back personally. I'd be like, I understand where you're coming from and why you didn't, and I get that. And I guess, and I'm processing this as I'm speaking, that I feel like I'd want to find out after my dad died. If I found out right now this information, I feel like it makes more sense. You know what I mean? Even though I already found out that my dad had secret daughter, many years ago.
Yeah, and
but it is, I feel like, I know
this is so tough.
Hard.
Okay, so here's what I'm thinking, because I think that, it's true. Your cousins kind of do have a right to know that this person exists. Also, your uncle is. Wait, is it your uncle? No, it's your uncle Charles. He is a fucking bitch for withholding this info from his kids. I guess it's what his wife wanted in order. They are both bitches, I think, here for also there's a kid out there who has a bunch of family and was raised by a single mom. and probably, the way it sounds, was not getting any support either financially or emotionally from Charles or anyone else.
Right.
And your aunt, Maria Sophia, is just kind of being very prideful. Like, this happened when they were broken up. I know it's a friend. That's but you ended up with the man. You ended up with the 2 kids. You ended up with like,
I feel like at this point,
at this point, it's like, let it go. Like, this is a person that exists.
Do they let anything go?
And I will also say, I've talked about this on the podcast. I have multiple friends that have found out about their dad's second families, because it's never a mom. A mom doesn't have a second family. You don't have fucking time. Who has the fucking time?
I don't have the time.
I leave my house to go. I'm going up the street to the supermarket for 5 minutes. Is that when I'm going to visit my second family? Is that when I'm going to arrange things for my second family? Are you kidding me?
You're setting the schedule, like having to get second family to
You
camp.
think I got another color in my Google Calendar for the second family? I don't. Listen, I have multiple friends who have found out they had second families and hidden siblings, and they still loved their dads, some of them. Like, some of them were still... One of them, it did not go great. But another one, but that's because he was having an ongoing affair.
See, that's
another
the thing,
one found out about an old half sibling, and she still loved her dad till the day he died so much. They were still close. I don't think that your cousins would necessarily be upset that this child exists. It's something that happened before your dad got together with his wife.
You know,
I think they'd be more upset that there was a secret for so long.
Yes. Now that I'm thinking about it, I feel like part of the reason, as I'm thinking about my own experience of finding out about Secret Sister, was I think that finding out that she was taken care of by my father, like finding out
that he was contributing but not sharing the information about her.
Right, because and not sharing and not being a part. I'm not saying that he was great. I mean, he wasn't being a part of her life either. But finding out that information, I was like, oh, okay, he was really, really young.
Yeah.
And, you know, it was just one of those things that I feel like the fact that they were broken up, sometimes you hook up with a friend. And I feel like at this point, in this age, I completely understand. Like, I have definitely broken up with somebody and then banged one of their friends before.
Yeah.
Like, I've definitely done that before.
It's social circles. It's like, but yeah, that's so like, it's so like boomery to just be like, oh, you've got this child out of wedlock or whatever. But it's understandable, but I think Maria Sophia should have said, I will still marry you. I love you. Let's start our family. And that, like, just demanding that, like, this never be spoken of again. It's like, this is a person. This is a human being. Like, you know, it's just
you're
so
just
boomerang.
Deny that they exist?
I don't think you're the bitch because you got this information when you were 7 and you obviously fucking buried it in your subconscious until you were, I'm assuming you're, into your, like, late 20s, early 30s. So your cousins can't be mad at you. I don't think the root is going straight to your cousins. I think first go talk to your mom about it and go, Mom, it's really been like eating me up right now because I'm really close to Cindy and Sandy, and I really want them.
That would be really annoying to name your children Cindy and Sandy. I'd be like, you're really setting yourself up for failure.
That's my goal here. Like, I really want to tell Cindy and Sandy about this fucking brother they have that does this, and then see what your mom says, and then be like, I'm really feeling like I want to tell them, but I want to do it in the right way. Can we go talk to Aunt Maria Sophia first about it and say, you know, maybe all these years have gone by. Can we just at least tell, like, I really feel like I got to tell my cousins. If you're like siblings, then I feel like it makes sense that you want to tell them. And, I'm not saying that you should ever go, if you don't tell them, I will. But you could say, it's really eating me up that I know this thing that they don't know.
Right.
And my mom spilt it to me by accident so long ago. I've held your secret now for 25 years in my subconscious, but now I remember it and I really want to talk about it. I think that families with secrets, they always end up coming out and they're upsetting. Yeah. Like, if you think I'm not going to tell them after you die, you're wrong. And then they're going to have something to be upset about you when you're dead.
That's the thing. And I will also say you might go the way of a boomer of like what we went through when we brought it to our parents, because we're like, I can't believe we have to bring this to them. And it's like, and it was I thought you knew.
And they might have
that's all it was. And I was like, what? Yes. I thought it was like a Harvard secret. I thought it was this big thing. It was just I thought you knew.
And they have they may have no interest in getting to know this guy. The guy might be dead. The guy might be in jail. Like, there might be no way to even get in touch. But like, I think that they do have the right to know that they have a half brother out there. I really kind of do. And also it depends on how small your community is. Like it could be someone who's like not that far away.
Talk to Maria Sophia first.
Yeah. I think you talk to your mom and then go to talk to Maria Sophia. That's what I think. Please let us know. God, this is like,
please let us know. I need to know.
And thank you. Once again, we are always accepting submissions on secret siblings. Okay.
I love
that's your ASMR moment from us for the moment. All right. Let's get to another voicemail.
Thank you for calling Who's the Bitch? Tell us in the voicemail who's the bitch. Beep.
Hi, Claire and Jackie. One-time listener. Just had a quick question. Oh, by the way, love everything you do. I have been in an open relationship for about the last 8 years, and 3 years ago, I went ahead to move in with, we'll call them F, in Washington. I used to live in Southern California and had a pretty decent job in a retirement fund beforehand. So essentially, 3 years ago, I moved up here, and they proceed to not spend no time with me. I get a job to be able to financially support us and end up working, upwards of 60 hours a week. I do this job for about a year. It's pest control. Don't ever hire pest control companies, by the way. And it almost pushes me to hospitalize myself. So eventually partner F asks if they can have, we will call them O, can move in from Alaska to live with us, and they will help provide. And in theory, I could quit this really hard job and work part-time, and we could all still afford our rent. It has been 10 months, nearly a year. We are on the verge of being evicted. Both F and O are currently unemployed. And so now I am moving across the country to live in Rochester, New York. My question is, am I the bitch for basically sentencing two people to homelessness? Am I doing the right thing by standing up for myself and leaving this partner and leaving this bad situation, or am I the asshole? If you need more details, I'll be happy to provide them. I can get way more in depth some other time. But thank you both. Bye.
Okay.
Ooh.
I mean, listen.
I don't think you're the bitch at all.
I don't think you're the bitch.
I think that you need to take care of yourself. And sometimes it is a difficult situation to take care of yourself. You do not owe them anything. They didn't, I feel that when you move in, it is a roommate partnership contract. I believe rather than, even if you're in a relationship or not, there should be a contract. That is something I learned a long time ago, of a physical contract of what a person is signing up for, so that I feel that it helps in the long run of like, well, you're not doing any of the things that you claimed that you were going to be doing. And I know obviously you didn't have that necessarily written down, but there is a handshake of when people move in that you're going to pay your bills. All right. It's not untoward to think that these people should be paying their bills. And it is not untoward as well for you to leave said people because they can't take care of themselves. They are not for you to take care of. And I understand feeling the way that you do, and you're completely valid to feel that way. I would feel horrible moving out and going to take care of ourselves. But also, ain't nobody gonna take care of you but you. And you gots to.
And it's like, it's not like this snuck up on you. This didn't sneak up on you. It's been 10 months, you said. It's been like you moved there. You said that, I think you said it was a little hard to hear your call in some parts, but like, I think you were like, they didn't really spend much time with you. I mean, this seems like a person that was using you.
Yes.
I hate to say. And that they're always the bitch for that.
Yes.
Like, they're not stepping up to financially contribute because you are.
Yes, and their laziness is the bitch. The fact of someone is already taking. It's like you've been taking care of them,
but not
so
only
they got used to it.
Then they waited for it to go on for it to happen for a while, and then said, "Oh, can I bring someone else to be in on this too? Like, can I bring someone else that I like? I don't know, enjoy being with. I don't know, either physically or emotionally or whatever, to also live off of your kindness." No. And that is completely unacceptable and not all right. You are not the bitch in any way in this situation. And, I will say make sure you take care of, especially when it comes to the lease, make sure who is on that lease, make sure that there's no way in which you can get hurt in going through this process. Mm-hmm. But I have certainly left roommates that didn't pay their bills before in the lurch of, well, figure it out. I paid my portion, so go figure it out. I mean, I'm interested in your call also because you seem more interested in the fact that you're leaving them unhoused potentially than you are with the fact that this relationship is over. Like, are you sad that the relationship is over?
How do you feel about that?
I'm interested in that part too, because hopefully you figured out exactly what we're saying, that this person is not the right person for you because they're sort of taking advantage of your kindness. But also there's two of them. They've got each other. You need to do what's good for you. If someone's dragging you down like that, that's not the person for you.
And it is very crazy that some people are just able to go from situation like that to situation like that because they'll find someone that will do it.
Exactly.
I feel like people like that always do.
They'll either have to get a job or they'll find someone that's the new you.
And they're going to find another couch to sleep on. And it is, it would be one thing if, a disability was keeping them from being able to work, or something. There was if there were any reason, you provided none, so I'm assuming that there isn't. And I know it's hard out there, believe me, but there are in this day and age 100 million ways to make money.
Yeah,
and some people are unable to, and because of mental health or other things. I get it. You got to go pay your bills.
Yeah.
All right.
Pay them bills. And I think that is going to be it for us today.
All right. That sounds great. Yeah, we had to have a little shorter.
We had to do a little bit shorter today.
But don't worry, because you're going to be getting a lot more of us
3
this week.
Hours
so come tomorrow. Come hang out with us Thursday, April. I keep saying April.
No,
it's
not a spring bitchathon, Jackie. It's in summer bitchathon.
Guess I'm having problems processing a couple of things over the last couple of months. It's not April. It's June 26th. YouTube.com/@who'sthebee. Come and join us. And if you don't want to talk to us live, of course, you can always send in your questions, your updates, your comments. Who'sthebitch.com. Get all of your information there.
We're going to have special guests.
Oh, yeah, you're damn right.
I forgot to mention at the beginning when we were talking about caspering, we are going to have a friendship expert on. We're going to have a couple of LPN faves around.
Yeah,
a couple of LPN faves as some guests. So it's going to be different than the live streams you've watched. A real party. Grab a couple buzz balls, roll up and hang out with us. You can call in, you can follow along in the chat, or you can just watch. And we cannot wait to get our bitchathon on. And if you missed the bitchathon, you can catch all of it over on the YouTube. So don't you worry, that's going to be coming out for you. We're going to be putting out different, edits of files. Don't worry, you will get edits of files. We're going to have lots of video content coming out from this episode, and I believe we're trying to do a best of. So you'll get like an hour episode of this. Live stream, so that's why you're not going to get all 3 hours unless you go to the YouTube or you come watch us live. Yes, please. And it's so fun because we love talking to you and getting all the details where we can ask questions and go back and forth. It's a little bit different than a voicemail or an email, so we're excited. We'll see you guys tomorrow, and if you're planning on boycotting the bitchathon, we'll see you next week. Hell yeah. We'll talk to you soon regardless. Yeah. We'll find you. Bye, bitches. Bye.
This show is made possible by listeners like you. Thanks to our ad sponsors, you can support our shows by supporting them. For more shows like the one you just listened to, go to lastpodcastnetwork.com.
KFC Phillips are back. 4 delicious meals for just $7 each. That's great news for everyone, except the driver in F1 the movie who only gets 2.5 seconds for a pit stop. 2.5 seconds? That's not enough time to indulge in juicy original recipe chicken. Oh, and he's gone. Creamy mashed potatoes, sweet pie poppers, and a medium drink? Well, the rest of us can take as long as we'd like to enjoy any KFC $7 fill-up. Then see F1 the movie starring Brad Pitt. Only in theaters June 27th. Rated PG-13. Prices and participation vary while supplies last. Taxes, tips, and fees extra.
Imagine what's possible in your business career when learning doesn't get in the way of life. At Capella University, our game-changing FlexPath learning format is available in select business programs and lets you learn at a time and pace that works for you. That means you don't have to put your life on hold while earning your business degree. Instead, enjoy learning your way and earn your degree without missing a beat. A different future is closer than you think with Capella University. Learn more at capella.edu.